So I get asked a lot from young people if they should quit university and become a full-time trader. And I've been in the same situation. I have asked myself the same things when I was studying in university. So I would like to share my experience. And first of all, there's a big no. You should never do that. In Germany, where I live and where I studied, the situation is a little bit different. University, for the most part, is free, just a little fee, very small fee. So once you are done with university and you didn't have to take out a student loan, you don't have huge debt. So that's a big advantage. It might be different if you have to pay whatever it might be in the US or in other places. But that's my point of view, and the points that I will be making in this video, they will be relevant to anyone. Whenever I say, no, you should not quit your university to become a full-time trader, people then always come with the argument, but people like Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, they also quit it, and they also dropped out of university or college or wherever. And obviously, you are not the next Bill Gates, you are not the next Mark Zuckerberg. It's very important to know that. At the same time, when Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, or whoever it was, Steve Jobs, when they dropped out of university or college, they already had either real skills. Bill Gates, it was in the book, the 10,000 hour rule, or whatever it is, the title was. They showed how Bill Gates was already or had been programming and working on his programming skills for thousands and thousands of hours before he dropped out of university. By that time, when he dropped out, he had real skills that not many people in the whole world had. So he had already a very big competitive advantage. Mark Zuckerberg, well, from how much truth there will be to this to the movie, when he dropped out of college to become or to take on the role on Facebook and move it forward, he already had a viable product with real results. So either you need to have real results. If you have results, if you want to become a trader and you are already making 5 or 6 figures consistently, very important, then it's a very different story. But if you don't have either skills, if you are just starting out as a new trader, or you don't have results, obviously there's a big no, and you should not quit university studies. That's just, well, it's stupid. Yeah, let's call it that. It is completely stupid. Don't do that. But there's even more to that. The chances of becoming a full-time trader are slim, are very small, because the failure rate is very high. And also, how long have you been in trading? Maybe 1 or 2 years if you are still young and you are still in your early university studies. So after 1 or 2 years, you cannot really make such a big decision to quit university and then pursue this dream where you don't have results, where you don't have skills yet. So that's not a very good point, and not a good decision to make for the long term. I know university is not always the nicest thing, and I studied business and finance. I graduated with a master's. I contemplated quitting university many times, especially during those boring, the testing phases where all I was doing was sitting in the library for hours and hours, weeks and weeks. Of course, it would be much nicer to become or to be a trader, travel all around the world, have a big and fancy sports car. But it's just daydreaming, let's be honest. So we really need to be realistic here. Also, when I look back, although my university studies don't really have helped me in a direct way to become a better trader, and I really almost never used the knowledge that I've acquired in my university studies, and many things are questionable because everything is quite theoretic, obviously. There are still things that I think if I hadn't been in university, I would not be where I am today. There are 3 main characteristics and takeaway lessons and things that I'm really grateful today for, that I've been through university and I did it. First of all, it's a backup. Of course, Many people say the school system, the world, everything is changing. Nobody knows what it's going to be in 10 years. But, well, nobody knows what's going to be. Maybe nothing will change at all, or not the big change will happen like everybody expects it. So, yes, the formal education is probably becoming less and less important. It is still important. That's very, very important. And you might say, oh, in 10 years, nobody will care. Fair enough, but 10 years is quite a long time. And what are you going to do the next 10 years? Do you drop out of university, try to become a full-time trader? You're not going to make it, and then you have nothing. You need to go to a low-paid job. That's not good. At least you have a university degree. You can get into the higher-paid jobs, even if that's not really what you want to do. But the higher-paid jobs, they can allow you to build your trading account as well. So that's one thing you should not neglect. Also, maybe trading won't be there in 10 years, or trading will be very, very different. Things are always evolving and changing. A few decades ago, there was no electronic trading, and then the telephone came around, and then the internet came around. So everything is always changing. Who knows what will be there in 10, 20 years? Although I don't think that trading will go away, it will certainly change. And it's always good to have something to show for, get your university degree. And especially there are certain jobs where you just need a degree. And I'm happy and I'm grateful for that my doctor cannot just drop out of university, still be a doctor. You need to have a degree to be a lawyer, obviously, and all of those things. So if you have a passion for certain things, then a full-time trader is not even the real and the right answer. There are people who love their job, and trading can become something that you do on the sides, where you don't have to spend your full time in trading, but it can be a nice supplement of your income, where you can pull in 30, 40, 50, 60, whatever, $100,000 extra a year, and you still love your job. You can maybe work half-time in your job, or you can outsource certain things that you don't like. That's very, very important to know as well and to keep in mind. Finally, the skill you learn in university is not as obvious at first, and for me personally, it's not, because I study business and finance. The skills that you learn, they are very theoretic, but what I learned, and that helps me every single day being a trader or also being an entrepreneur, is that I learned for the first time in university I learned to organize myself. I also learned that nobody will give a damn if I study, if I fail, or if I pass. It is completely up to me to really either get down and work or just do nothing. And trading is very, very similar. In the end, nobody will care. Nobody will care if you win or lose, if you make it or not, if you become a trader or if you become not a trader. So sorry, my mind was going somewhere else. So trading, you need to be self-motivated. You need to develop self-discipline. You need to learn to organize yourself. You need to keep the promises that you make to yourself. Very, very important as well. Many traders, or many people in general, they have this romantic dream or idea of becoming a full-time trader. They can do whatever they want. They will be their own boss. That's true to some degree, but it's also true that being your own boss is not the right answer for many people, because let's be honest, everybody would like to prefer to watch Netflix every day and not sit down in front of your computer, fill in the journal for 2 hours every day. And that's the thing that you need to develop, and university was the first time in my life where I really had to develop it, because nobody give a damn about who I am, what I'm going to do, what my weaknesses are, what my strengths are. So I was on my own. That was great. It was a harsh reality and a big wake-up call, but I learned my lesson, and I graduated with a very good degree, with a very good final exam. And even today, this is one of the most important skills that I attribute my success, or most of my success, to. Also, university is probably the last time you will have so much free time and so few responsibilities ever again in your life. So university always and also enabled me and helped me to really create a lot of free space which I could put back into my trading. So especially in business and finance, the cliches are true. You don't overwork yourself really, and there's a lot of free time. So really, I used this free time very, very effectively. I was always studying on my trading. I was having a journal, building my track record, and working on many, many things, trying out new systems, back testing, forward testing, and so on and so forth. If you're not doing this, and if you're just fooling around, and then you have this romantic idea of becoming a full-time trader and dropping out of high school or college or whatever, yeah, you just won't make it. You won't make it. I promise you that. You need to be super crazy, disciplined, self-motivated. If you are not working every waking hour on your trading, but you are contemplating dropping out of high school or college or university, you won't make it. I promise you that, and there's no other possible outcome. However, on the other hand, you get your degree as a backup plan. Maybe you're even studying something that you enjoy, which is great, and you can expand your horizon. You can build a good network in university. You can use the free time to put it back in your trading. That's great, and that's how it should be. And let's be honest, trading after a while becomes very repetitive and boring. It's not something where your mind is constantly stimulated, so that's also one thing to keep in mind of. And I always say that without having gone to university, I wouldn't be where I am today. So even though I don't use my degree at all whatsoever, I am so thankful that I did it, and without it I wouldn't be where I am today. Having said that, I could have promoted a very, very different message here, and I wanted to keep it real. I could have said, like so many other people, yeah, just drop out, do it, get my course, and you will make it. That's not the case. I will never do that. Moritz will never do that. We are keeping it real. We are just sharing our own experience, and we also want to help you stay open-minded and not really, yeah, you get the idea. We want to really help people, and we don't want to just to promote whatever we might be selling. We are selling stuff, of course, that's not a secret. But I've been in the same situation, and I was always confused by people who gave me different advice. Let's put it this way. So I really would like to encourage you to think about it, see the positive in university, in formal education, then make a educated decision, and yeah, enjoy your life, have fun, and set yourself up for success.